Preseason, Titans-Ravens reaction. Malik Willis, Caleb Farley, offensive line, Julius Chestnut, punter competition. Whatever you like. I got you. 615-737-1045 is how you do it.
Dylan in the YouTube chat says, let the anarchy begin.
Baby, I'm ready. Ramon Foster basically, so I got in. Wait, we're not going to talk about the travel issues. I feel like we're here to talk about the football.
Yeah, we did that yesterday.
I won't make this about me.
But you are one of the losers of Titans game day.
Which we will get to. We're going to do a little bit of preseason stock exchange. Stock up or stock down. Real high-level stuff from what we saw in Baltimore last night. But yes, Ramon Foster gave me a pep talk via text on my Uber ride in whilst doing his own radio show this morning. And I am ready for war. I came in here hot off 3 hours of sleep and having watched all of the reaction to Malik Willis in 2 quarters and 2 plays of football taking the NFL internet by storm. I have had my face melted off by the sewer that lies within my mentions after covering that game last night. Lucas, I have been both accused of quarterback racism before 4 a.m. this morning on the internet because of how I described some of the Malik Willis deficiencies, which also you'll hear from his head coach on, some constructive criticism, shall we call it. And I have also been accused of bleep riding for Logan Woodside. So I don't know where I'm being pigeonholed today, but I'm taking all sides and I'm taking everybody on. I'm ready for it. I came in battle tested for this. I feel like we're already in regular season form. But I'm not trying to fight people today. Nothing
will put a fan base into a mid-season form like QB controversy in the preseason, because we didn't have this last year, right? Like nobody was feeling this strongly about Matt Barkley, Logan Woodside.
Well, Luke Worsham was about the only one.
Yeah.
He caping up for Matt Barkley at every turn. I remember looking at him in the press box in Tampa and be like, buddy, no, he stinks. Like they both objected. I mean, stinks is a harsh term, but they are both significantly below average quarterbacks. But Matt Barkley, I have seen play significantly subpar football. Like, don't die on this hill.
He's a Bills quarterback.
Listen,
he's on the roster.
He stays getting jobs. And that should tell you everything about the state of backup quarterbacking in the league right now. But we're not here to talk about Matt Barkley. Malik Willis gets the start. And in all of these different things, all of the different places and pieces that you were watching, and I think you got out of this what you needed to get out of this. I think as a football team, I'm speaking purely as a football team, whether you feel satisfied with the results. I mean, it was a loss, 23-10, the final score. Like, who gives a bleep?
The streak continues.
The Ravens, the most unstoppable preseason force known to mankind, 21 straight preseason wins, and also who gives a damn? Like, come on, okay? But the mechanics of things, the technique breakdowns, the lapses in judgment or lack of reaction time in certain spots or improper reads, all of the things that training camp is designed to work out and that the preseason is designed to hone in on, I think you got everything that you wanted out of that game last night. I think you can look at Malik Willis, and we'll spend some more time on this. Like I said, you're going to hear from Mike Vrabel on it. You'll hear from Malik. I spoke with him. I spoke with both of them last night, and I was in the locker room for the first time since 2019. I spoke to actual players in a normalized conversational setting about the game that they had just played. And I feel like I learned more in last night's post-game locker room access than I have in 2 years of covering this football team in the Zoom era, where my brain has just been set to rot. Other than I almost ate it. I almost ate it in the locker room because I tripped on somebody's slides. I caught myself before I went head first into Aaron Brewer's equipment bag or whatever was lying around me on the floor. But it felt like I was actually getting to do the job of covering an NFL team again, which was swell. But for Malik, let's start there. that was everything that we basically described to you. That was everything that was the scouting analysis of him in college. It was the reason why the conversation around Malik was, okay, day 2 draft pick, but clearly significant potential. Did we all just forget about all the conversations around Malik Willis in the draft process? Did we just completely put that out of our minds and think that training camp was going to totally and utterly rectify the places where his game needs to be cleaned up? Here's the thing for me, and we're going to spend a lot of time on position battles because I think we learned a lot about the offensive line group. I think I know at least one player who definitively has a roster spot based on how little he played last night, and we'll get to that as well. And I think that the backup quarterback competition is still very much in a place where they're just trying to give these guys different looks. I don't think anything about last night's game substantially altered a plan where you are likely to see 3 quarterbacks on the roster. 2 preseason games yet to be played. Plenty more time in camp for Malik Willis to make up the kind of ground in the places where he needs to make ground up. Logan Woodside is not out there because he's physically gifted. Logan Woodside is not out there because he's got athletic, quick twitch. Logan Woodside is out there because they can trust him to understand what he's seeing and execute, even if, he can only throw the passes that they ask him to throw. And when he throws it into the stomach of a linebacker, or when the second interception ends up being a tip drill and he gets dragged across the surface of the internet, that's fine. That's probably what the Logan Woodside experience would look like in live game action too. But the way that Malik Willis played last night excites you about the possibility. There is still significantly more to clean up before you can trust him to fill in whatever role you might need a backup quarterback or future starter to fill in. And I think that's the best possible sample size of what the ground level for Malik Willis looks like right now.